Download the AllStar app. Make your picks for UFC fights, challenge your friends, level up and win prizes. Link in description. Get it now. Khabib, right? Khabib, they're, UFC 300, right? UFC 300. And the reason why I bring up Khabib is because they need a big name for UFC 300.
Yeah.
And I wanted to kind of compare what UFC 300 looks like to like all the other UFCs, like UFC 100, UFC 200. So UFC 100, right?
Okay.
The main event. Whoa,
was that Lesnar?
No way. Okay, so you had like GSP versus Thiago Alves, Brock Lesnar versus Frank Mir, Dan Henderson versus Michael Bisping. That's when Hendo dropped the bomb on him.
Oh,
right? Sexyama was on that card as well. Mark Coleman was on that card. Wow, John Jones was on the prelims of that UFC
like,
100.
That's like the gear all time, ain't it?
Yeah.
Okay, now UFC 200, right?
The gear all time.
UFC 200, you had Amanda Nunes, Miesha Tate title fight, Brock Lesnar, Mark Hunt, Cormier, Anderson Silva. Remember, this one was because like Anderson Silva came in short notice because John Jones had pulled out.
Right.
Remember?
Yeah.
And that was a weird fight. Jose Aldo, Frankie Edgar, Cain Velasquez, Travis Brown, Juliana Pena fought on it. Kelvin Gastelum, TJ Dillashaw, Sage Northcutt was on the card. Gegard Mousasi.
Where
so
was
like,
this? Brazil?
No, this is UFC 200. All of them are in Vegas.
Okay.
So
Man, I can't believe that was so long ago. Like that Northcutt in the UFC.
2009 was UFC 100.
Yeah.
2016 was UFC 200. So we got UFC 300 coming up, right? So right now, officially, what's been announced: fights: Gaethje versus Holloway, BMF title.
Solid.
Prohaska versus Rakic. Charles Oliveira versus Armin Sarukian.
Solid.
You got Zhang Weili fighting Yan Xiaonan. Calvin Kattar, Aljamain Sterling, Bo Nichols on it. You know what I mean? Cody Garbrandt, Bobby Green is on it. You got Kayla Harrison that just announced against Holly Holm. Okay, so like,
what's the main event?
They haven't announced it yet. Dana White's saying like, "Oh, it's gonna blow your mind when you hear the main event," right? Because they did kind of shock a lot of people with Kayla Harrison.
Yeah,
like no one expected that was to happen. No one expected. There was no like whispers, nothing.
Well, she was like the female face of PFL as well, right?
So they played that well, right? They're like acting like she was gonna fight on the pay-per-view thing, and then after they announced the pay-per-view, then UFC announced this, right? So, anyways, why I bring up Khabib is because the welterweight title fight, right? It's supposed to be on here. That's what they say, because Leon Edwards said it at some, I don't know where he was. He was back in the UK. He said to some reporter, I think, that he's gonna be fighting or defending his title at UFC 300, but he didn't say who the opponent was. So people are thinking it's Bilal Muhammad. That's what they think, because Shafkat is injured.
Yeah.
Right.
And I know Hawani was really pushing and saying like Muhammad's really Bilal's really the only one that deserves it, right?
But the UFC, they just did this Kayla Harrison thing. Yeah. I'm saying, like, do we need Khabib to come back? Does the UFC need the superstar to come back? Because right now, Conor hasn't fought in years. So it's not like he's a draw. He will be, but it's not right now. He's not drawing, right? Khabib is like the next level of superstar, right? He's almost maybe even comparable to Conor McGregor, in many parts of this world. Do we need him back? Would you like to see him back? And my prediction is, what I want is Khabib to come back and fight Leon Edwards for the welterweight title.
The only issue with that, I think, is that he'd do what GSP did, I think. So like, I know that they also said, that he like turned down something like 14 million in order to
40 million.
40? I thought it was 14.
No, 40 million.
Oh my
I saw
God.
the article. It said 40 million.
I thought it was okay.
But I think like he was probably talking about other offers as well, not just UFC.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Probably like boxing is probably after him too. Like, you come box in Saudi Arabia, we're gonna give you 40 million.
So I remember the 4. But yeah, so like I know he turned down a bunch of money and everything. I have a feeling if he did do it, he'd retire immediately after. And the only problem with that is that if he did beat Edwards, then you're in the same situation that sort of, happened with GSP where,
It's fighting for another open title. But
yeah, it's an open title. Like you've upheavaled, whatever. You've like disheveled the division just for one big fight.
Yeah,
Is
but the
that
thing
worth it?
is, money is not a factor. I don't think.
Yeah, that's true.
Because Khabib, like, he's already rich. He's
Yeah.
crazy rich already,
Yeah.
right? And I never thought that he was fighting for the money, anyways, right? The
No.
money's
No.
nice, but
Yeah.
it's for him. He could live a simple life,
But
and be
that's
happy.
why I feel like, as a man of God, as a man of morals, like even me, I can relate to all of that. And it's like, bro, he said he not fighting because his dad ain't there, or he not fighting because, like,
Also, he promised his mother.
yeah, that's what he stood on, and,
Yeah.
and I don't think he coming back. Personally, I don't think he coming back. I don't think if bro, he stands on what he stand on.
Yeah.
Like, even I can relate to that so much, because there's been times where somebody done put $100 in front of me, and I've been like, damn, bro, I really need this $100. But me standing on what I stand on, I ain't gonna do it. So,
Of course.
you know what I'm saying? So I don't think for him to come back for one fight, I don't think it's gonna
He
happen.
follows his morality.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
everything.
things change. People change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mothers change.
If his mom,
Yeah.
like if his
Yeah.
mom said, I
I
think,
think-
yeah.
Maybe he's miserable, and the mom sees that,
Yeah. I mean,
and he's like,
I
he could go
really-
chase that GOAT status, and like if he wins the welterweight title and defends that like a few times, there's no
No, if ands, or
argument anymore.
buts.
Yeah, there's no
Yeah.
argument at all who the
Yeah.
greatest of all time is.
Yeah.
yeah,
Right
that
now,
is
there's
true.
arguments.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Khabib goes up a weight class, beats Leon Edwards, who's probably, I don't know, to me, skill for skill is one of the best we've ever seen at welterweight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Hands
Like, he's
down.
just really good everywhere,
Well,
right?
and
He might
he-
not be the most exciting, but he's kind of like what a GSP is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
be
And
honest
he's
He a bigger GSP.
Yeah.
I mean, and he dethroned who, like, Usman, who
Yeah,
was
yeah,
just
who's considered like, oh, he's gonna
one of
crack,
the all-time. I mean,
GSP's records and shit, right? So like, but let's be real, Leon Edwards is not a big draw, but if Khabib comes into the scenario,
The
then it
biggest draw.
changes.
This
Yeah.
would be the best card ever.
Yes.
Hands down, this would be the best card
But-
ever.
I honestly already think
but
it kind of
do
is.
you- Oh, really? Already? Because there's only like
I
like the story
like
behind everything. Like,
yeah,
Aljamain going up to 45, fighting Calvin Kattar, even though Calvin Kattar is on his downfall, but it's like, bro, he's going up. And then like Kayla Harrison come from PFL. So we've never seen someone come from, besides Ben Askren, but come from another company that was a champion and come and try to dominate somebody. So if she wins, I think she makes a big statement, personally. And
also,
then,
I don't give a shit about the BMF thing,
yeah, I don't,
but
yeah.
but having Holloway versus Gaethje is incredibly exciting,
Yeah.
and it's gonna break my heart no matter who wins and loses.
Man, I don't like it because we saw Holloway fight at lightweight.
That's
and you see
true.
what Poirier did.
Bro, we see Holloway fighting, and it's like he looked 35 and he's like 31, right?
Yeah,
He looks older than he is.
well, that's because he's taking the most shots,
I don't
right?
know, man. I don't. To be honest with you, like Holloway has the skills to beat Gaethje, but
Of
if he
course.
gets cracked,
He don't have the power. He's never knocked anybody out.
Yeah,
And Gaethje's like sparked dudes clean many
Yeah.
times. So it's just like it's a big challenge. If Holloway goes in there and beats him, it's like, yo, if you're Holloway, you're asking for the title shot.
Yeah.
I mean, but
immediately.
I think maybe that's why it is exciting,
that's
because
why,
it's
that's
like
why that's why he took the
Anything
fight.
can happen.
yeah,
I guarantee you, backdoor UFC, he was probably saying like, "Yo, I go fight this guy.
I'm
For what
getting
you're gonna
tired.
pay me, I win. I get a title shot.
Yeah.
Like that's
yeah.
Let's put that in a contract.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about contract. Let's
Yeah.
put that in the contract.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if he goes like God level Holloway that he did in like the Cater fight or
Yeah,
something like
yeah.
that?
If he does that,
Gaethje,
But
and
you,
he
but
just-
you see, even at his still didn't knock him out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still, bro.
still, but if you look like I think of like Calvin Cater similar to Gaethje in the sort of like we're gonna make him bleed kind of like, you know what I mean? And so like if he was able to do that with Cater, obviously this is up a weight class though, so the shots are harder, everything is, but there
Bro,
is
Gaethje
that
gonna kill him, bro.
It's a hard fight, man.
It's a hard
It's
fight.
Gaethje is gonna-
Gaethje is in his prime right now.
He's
Yeah.
going to spark,
The
buddy.
way he looked against Dustin Poirier,
Bro, that
that
was
was-
Dustin. Come on,
Yeah.
bro. Like, But if I was Max, I'll do the same thing too. No matter what y'all
Oh, yeah.
saying or anything, bro, it's a chance. It's like
Of course.
it's a win-win. If I go in there and I give it all, okay, whatever. I lost.
Yeah.
I'm getting paid. But I'm going there. I'm not gonna just fold.
Mm.
And then if he wins, bro, he looks like the best thing smoking. So
I bet you that contract looks great
Yeah.
though.
Yeah, it has to.
It has
It has
to.
to. Yeah, man. I think Max Holloway knows how to do business,
yeah.
Yeah.
and he got this one.
He's also in a
Nice.
little bit of limbo, right?
Yeah.
Because he's clearing out the division, and the only one that he can't beat is the champ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like the UFC is probably sitting there and going, "Hey, what do we do with you?" And he's like, "Wow!" And he hands him the contract.
There's like you can see what Max is doing because
Yeah.
he's in that situation. He's like, all right, I'm gonna go up a weight class, fight for the BMF title. If I lose, I come back straight to a title shot against, let's say, Topuria wins against Topuria.
Yeah.
If there's no immediate title, what is it,
You know,
rematch?
I don't
Yeah.
think he gets a title shot at 45.
I
You
do.
don't think?
You think so?
If Volkanovski's not a champion,
You gotta
I
look at
think-
Movsvar too. I think he fights Movsvar.
no. I think that Holloway is in that position. Like he's in that status now.
You think so?
Yeah, where they're gonna like he's in that status where
But
he's like in the Poirier status.
Think
like,
about
he's,
it.
like,
Though.
in that
Think about
status.
it. Think
Whoever
about
the-
it. Think about it. He beat Arnold Allen his last fight, right?
Yeah.
So all right, MMA math. He beat Arnold Allen. Movsvar just beat Arnold Allen. He loses to Gaethje, hypothetically. He has to fight Movsvar. I think he has to fight Movsvar.
Well, that makes it's kind of logical, right? But
Yeah.
the UFC's not logical.
You're right.
Not
You're right.
anymore,
I just think,
yeah.
you're right.
Who's,
It-
Yeah.
You know who Mavzar is gonna fight? Somebody else that's not gonna get him a title shot.
yeah.
Yeah.
Bro,
That's what's
he-
gonna happen.
Yeah.
and like I respect Movsvar and his style, and I respect everything about him. Like he's a good fighter, like he is. But to go 8-0 in the UFC, all decisions is like that's like all right, bro. Like
Well, they're
whatever.
gonna call him.
You gotta do what Armin's doing now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Armin's like
He's-
he's flipped the switch.
That's my
He's finishing
guy.
fights.
I can
bro.
hear that
love
whole
Armin.
needle mover
Yeah.
argument. You know, like they'll say, like,
Why do you think they
Sarukian
gave
is-
him Charles Oliveira on
Yeah,
UFC 300?
yeah.
I asked his manager, like straight up, like, you know, do you think the last performance when he knocked out Gamrot with one punch, did that like propel him?
Benil.
He knocked out Benil?
Benil.
He didn't knock out Gamrot?
No. Benil.
not Gamrot.
Armin.
Oh, he was Benil.
Benil.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
Benil, he knocked out Benil with one punch, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I asked him, like, yo, did that like propel him to get this fight? He's
Yes.
like, of course it did.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because if it
Yeah.
was another decision, it would have, you know, it doesn't
Yeah.
look good. You know
But
what I mean? So
Armin is like, he's like,
he can beat, he
Yes.
has the talent to beat everybody in the division.
yes,
He does.
Yes.
I
yes.
mean, he was at Syndicate for that fight with Gamrot,
Mm-hmm.
and that was a crazy fight, man.
Yeah.
And I'm watching him in the room, and I'm like, I'm so glad that I'm a flyweight.
yeah, I seen
I'm
him
so
at the
glad.
PI too. Like I got a chance to like just be around him, and
He's
it's
a
like,
machine.
yeah, but it's not even that he's a machine. It's just that like he don't let you get him out of his game. Like he's gonna go in there, he's gonna grab you, he's gonna keep the pace hot.
But
da-da-da,
I mean,
like,
even in that camp, I remember he was working with Capetillo, and his boxing looked good. You know, like
and it's
like,
so like unorthodox that it's good.
Yeah.
Like it's not
Yeah.
like one like it's like so robotic but perfect. Like it's hard to explain, but
it's
Well, it's
weird,
good for
yeah.
MMA.
yeah.
Maybe if he goes boxing, it's not gonna work.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
in MMA, it works.
Yeah,
'cause
and
the
that's the
small
thing that
gloves
I've
and
been
all that.
noticing, bro. Good fighters aren't pretty fighters
No.
at all. Like every champion, bro, there is no perfect 1-1-2. There is this that. No, you go out there, you got to win. You got to go out there, you got to
gotta
let your
make it
balls
messy
hang.
Look at
sometimes.
Pereira.
Let your balls
Look at how
Yeah.
he fights. How many times have you seen a guy like Pereira, the way he fights with his hands down,
Yeah,
and just like
Starch
become
people.
champion in 2 divisions at the
Hell
highest level?
That's
Yeah.
crazy. At 7-0, like,
Yeah, it just shows you MMA is
bro,
like different.
MMA is not about what you know, it's about who you know and how you capitalize on your opportunities.
and
Yeah.
grit.
That's it.
That's it. That's
and
it.
grit in the fight.
And
And grit,
Armin
yeah.
on UFC 300, Armin, he got a huge opportunity against
Yeah.
Charles Oliveira.
And
I
that's-
pick Armin to win.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna put you right there. straight
Nah,
up.
I can't go against my boy Charles.
It does
nah.
hurt.
It's
it
gonna
does
hurt
hurt.
you. It's gonna hurt you. You're gonna need some fucking tissues.
There's somewhere in my heart
but
that
I think
just is
Armin's
like,
gonna go in there and roll over him.
This
roll
whole
through him.
card is like a,
you know,
you know what I'm saying?
I
But
do think the Islam Armin rematch. I
that's the-
see,
yeah.
you know, but I think also, you know, what John is saying, I picture it going kind of similarly for Oliveira as it did with Islam. You know, the problem is that these guys are just like, yo, they're tanks, man, and they're good everywhere.
And Armin, if he gets on top of him, he's just gonna elbow, you know, a hole in his head. You know, it's just.
But there's
Charles kind of gets stagnant on his back from time to time. You know?
But
It's not good.
bro, Charles is a bull in the ring. I just see like constant clashing. Like,
I do have to say, like, if Oliveira, you know, pulls it off, takes the back, chokes him out again, you know, hits another one of those, he's got to go against Islam again, right?
Yeah.
And then if that happens, I mean, I loved the Oliveira era, man. Like,
Oliveira.
Oh yeah, nobody who doesn't love Oliveira, but I think he's
an era.
Man, he's had too many wars. Man. He's had too many wars. Now it's like, what's the spark? He's rich. You've seen how he's living now, man. It's a different lifestyle. Like,
and
he's sleeping in satin sheets.
Yeah,
you know, like silk sheets or whatever. He's walking around, you know, with OnlyFans girls and stuff. I think.
But that in itself is crazy too, because some people like get the money and let it control them, but like if you get the money and reinvest it in yourself, it's a whole new monster. It's a whole new beast. And I think that's kind of what he did. Yeah. Right. Same thing I'm gonna do. I get my first million. Hey, Ferrari and bad women. That's the best motivation ever.
Fuck that. I'm buying a house and investing. Hey, can you tell my dad's an accountant?
Hey, they have to have somewhere to sleep too, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yes, father would be proud of that comment that I just made.
I'm gonna get a tip later.
I know. I'm so proud. Ernst & Young has done well.
Oh my god. Yeah, bro.
All right, so you know, we mentioned earlier about Kayla Harrison signing with the UFC. She's gonna debut against Holly Holm at bantamweight, and
how is she gonna make that weight?
Yeah, because has she ever made bantamweight?
No.
There's always lightweight and featherweight. She's made featherweight.
Lightweight.
Yeah, lightweight.
Yeah.
She's always been lightweight. And featherweight.
It's crazy.
There was something I saw where she was
featherweight.
What is 175 pounds in kilo? Or because I don't know how to, like, I'm bad about converting.
175, like 78.
78 kilos.
Yeah, 70 kilo. No, that's 155.
Yeah.
Right?
78.
So whatever it was, it was talking in pounds, right? And it said like she was fighting in PFL at 155. Mm-hmm. She was doing judo at 175.
Yeah, it says right here. In the Olympics, she was 172, 78
that's
kilos.
Oh my, she has to be on gear.
Dude, she was big.
She
was. She's still big. She would manhandle so many dudes.
Yeah,
but you know, like if she can make bantamweight, and I think she's probably tried already to make it.
Yeah,
because I don't think she
did some test runs.
Yeah, but she got money though, bro. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you got money.
She got millions.
She can make that money. I mean,
people are talking about, oh, she's not gonna make the weight. She's gonna get the best. Dude, she was an Olympian.
Yeah.
Like Olympian is a different mindset, you know. It's not about money. Now she has all the money she can spend on herself to get ready, right? So she'll have the best dietitians, all of that stuff. She's gonna make the weight. The question is, will she be able to become the best female fighter that we've ever seen now in the UFC? Can she surpass?
How old is she?
Amanda Nunes. Let me see. 33. So she only has 17 fights, and most of her fights don't last very long.
Yeah, I think the part of the problem is that Nunez has just created such a legacy, right?
Yeah.
That unless Harrison were to fight Nunez, you're never gonna get that same status, I think. But you know, let's see what happens.
She's
right?
33. I give her she got like 5 years to make.
Yeah, because I think with the skill set that she has, and the way that did you see Ryan Clark? What he said about the women's UFC bantamweight division? No. You know how Ryan Clark has a show with Daniel Cormier on ESPN, right?
Yeah.
Well, Ryan Clark was saying that they should just get rid of the UFC women's bantamweight division because it was just like, this is the best. Like he was just ripping them apart. It's like, this is the best. Like you should just get rid of it. It didn't even look
Yeah.
like professionals.
Talking
fighting.
about the Pennington fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. No comment.
What?
Yeah.
Brian Clark, what did he play?
Safety.
He played safety for what team? Green Bay?
Steelers.
Steelers? It
Yeah.
was Brian Clark's. Man, I don't remember him playing at all, to be honest.
He was
good at
he
her.
was solid. Like he
Yeah.
was like dependable. Like
Yeah.
you can
Well, that's a good word to say for somebody that I don't know.
Bro, he was
Dependable.
good. Like he was just like, because in the NFL it's more about knowing the plays. You know what I'm saying? It's not everybody's good, but bro, the playbook is
Execution.
Yeah, you have to
Yeah.
know the playbook. So he was one of them.
It's
I know you don't understand. It's
I can tell you about dumplings in Hong Kong if you want.
I ate some dumplings earlier. They're so good.
Oh man, I missed him some.
That's right. So good.